Hello, welcome to lesson number 2. Um, Lesson number 2 will be as busy and as fast as lesson number 1. So don't wait until, if you happen to be working ahead and happen to finish lesson 1 early, move on to lesson 2 immediately. Because again, we have a lot to read and to do. My quote for this lesson is one of mine. Do you want to be a farmer or a miner? And I want us to think about that for a few minutes. Farmers tend to grow plants, animals, crops, food, so forth, and it's a continual process of renewal. Miners really don't grow anything, and this is not meant to be a, a negative comment on the profession of mining or the industry, because believe me, I'm from Southwest Virginia, and I know my share of coal miners. But the idea is, farmers grow and miners take from the earth. And what we take from the earth or from society, we can't necessarily put back. We have to replace with something else. So I want us to start thinking about the material being presented in terms of being a farmer. Farmers continually grow, cultivate, and provide for the needs of society. And when we are working with clients and working within human service organizations, we want to be farmers, not miners. Because farmers are those that help and encourage clients to be successful. Farmers are those that develop themselves and their own ability to be successful. And farmers develop organizations through a continual process of renewal and development. So let's think about our human services practice and studies as being farmers. Let's move on to, well, first, lesson number 1. I really hope folks took time to read the Delivering Happiness book. It reads extremely well, and it goes by pretty fast for those students who are willing to give it a chance. And we will be continually referring back to the Delivering Happiness material as we go along through the semester. It's really a good quick read. It truly is. If anyone does have a chance to be a customer of Zappos, it is a pleasant experience. I've been a customer for several years, and that they actually have as mentioned in the book, a distribution facility in Kentucky, although their main headquarters is in Las Vegas, which is open for tours. There is a distribution center in Kentucky, which is not that close or not that far from us, to be honest. First, I've also posted another video in this lesson. This is a video that talks about how to complete the Leadership Practices Inventory. It provides you detailed information about how to complete the inventory and how to score the inventory. There's also a couple of documents within Blackboard this lesson you will need to score the inventory. So make sure to view that video before you begin to complete the survey. I've also provided a description of what some of the outcomes of the inventory means. There are 5 different columns within the inventory, 5 different categories of information, so I've provided some information about what those categories mean. I wish we could spend more time on this survey and the material presented, but we just do not. That particular survey is actually based on a book that's about 400 pages long, and it's really deep reading. I didn't bring that with me today. I thought I did, but I will actually give you a screenshot or a link to that particular book. If you like the survey and what it said, I certainly encourage you to read the book. There's also an associated workbook that goes along with the book. I did bring it along. That looks like this. You don't have this, so don't expect to see this in your course pack. If you do, let me know, but nobody should have this. And this, along with the survey you do have, and the extremely large book, is meant to work together. But again, we don't have that much time and material, or that much time to go through the material this semester. I'm throwing probably too much at you already. But I really wanted to give folks a really good review of the types of leadership material that is out there, and material that you can use to develop your own skills and those of your staff. The text reading, we have two. I'm asking folks to read all of them. Hopefully, again, it'll go by pretty fast. This one, this is the Coaching Yourself to Leadership. 5 strategies for becoming an integrated leader. I'm asking folks to read that and complete any of the activities that may be spread throughout the chapters. Your second reading assignment for this lesson is this one, Understanding Leadership Competencies. I'm actually, when I went through this book a couple of summers ago, I was only given one night to read this book. So it goes by pretty fast. I read it in a span of 2 hours or so. I was in a 5-day training, and every night we had to read one of these books, and many of the books within your course packet. And the training was for prevention and substance abuse professionals who are practicing in the field. So every night we went to the hotel room, read one of the books, did the activities, then spent the next day talking about the activities and the readings. So I'm kind of following one of the same patterns as we had, or I had, a couple of summers ago with other professionals. So those are the 2 reading sources of reading material that you will need to complete this lesson. There's also 2 discussion boards for this lesson. There's a discussion board discussing the leadership competencies and the Coaching Yourself to Leadership book. There's also a discussion board on relating those 2 sources of material to the Delivering Happiness book. So make sure to complete those discussion board postings. I've also posted for this lesson your very first lesson 1 assignment in terms of your 3-page paper. It's worth 100 points. I've given you a description and a paper topic. The topic is your leadership practices inventory you filled out. To start thinking about what that inventory means and trying to connect the material to your current readings. So what did the leadership practices inventory teach you about yourself, and what have you learned about leadership thus far from the lesson 1 and the lesson 2 material that you can apply to what the survey told you? So what have you learned thus far from the material that can help you increase some of those skills that you don't feel like you have right now in terms of being an effective leader? Being an effective leader is hard work. I've had the privilege to supervise staff for 16 years. Staff in not only educational settings, but in human service settings as well. I've supervised staff in human service settings for that entire time. Sometimes I've supervised staff that there were only 2 people in the office, and the budget was only $30,000. On the other end, I've supervised programs across 6 counties. Our budget was $800,000 a year, and I had 40 staff that reported to me and to my supervisors. And it's extremely hard work. It's supervising staff and providing support to staff is the hardest thing I've ever done. But it's also the most rewarding if you take the opportunity to work to be a good leader. If your goal is to help your employees to move on to bigger and better things, to help your employees increase their skills, their competency levels. Because if you're constantly helping your employees increase their skills, increase their competency levels, then it's much easier for them to do so with their clients. The greatest compliment I've ever felt with folks I've supervised is to see those employees move on to positions that were bigger and better than the position that I was responsible for. That's a true sign of an effective supervisor. And the same for our clients. We should want our clients to move on to bigger and better things. We want to truly create an organization and create a service delivery mechanism where we work ourselves out of a job. That may never happen, of course, based on budgetary propositions it may, but based on human service need it may not. But that should be one of our goals, is to deliver high quality services with high quality staff at an extremely high level of expectation and expect no less. So those are the types of things that you can mention inside of your paper. I have also included a rubric within the paper assignment itself that you can use to kind of see the types of expectations I have for the paper. I will be using this rubric to score your paper out of those 100 points. Again, I want to thank everybody for your hard work thus far. I know I'm throwing a lot at you. You're reading a lot of material. It's a really short period of time. You have about another 9 days from the prior lesson 1 due date to complete this lesson. So don't wait till the last minute. I encourage folks to really read the material. You're only cheating yourself if you don't. And it's material that you can, sometimes in academic courses, we talk about material that you cannot necessarily apply to everyday life immediately. Well, this is one of those courses that you can apply to everyday life as soon as you read it, immediately. And it's topics that you can build and develop the rest of your professional and personal careers. So I really do encourage you to take a chance and work hard and look at the material. Let me know if there's something I can do to help. In the meantime, I will be reading with you. Take care. Bye-bye.